Did you know that glyphosate herbicides, that's Roundup, has been found in thousands of food samples and that it's been scientifically proven to damage gut bacteria? And folks, that means weaken the immune system. And what happens when we have weakened immune systems? Well, more severe symptoms from the flu and the things they're calling COVID and diabetes and obesity and cancer. And that creates the health crisis that we're in today, folks. And that creates the crisis that's causing shutdowns and economic crisis across our country. So, Monsanto, the makers of Roundup, are, in my opinion, directly responsible for a major part of the economic crisis that's happening across the country and around the world because we are eating poisoned food, folks. If you're not eating organic, and even in some cases, some organic is mildly contaminated, but in most cases, the conventional foods that we're eating, the wheat, the beans, the peas, the oats, the barley, the grains, the soy, much of the corn, even sugar is contaminated with this glyphosate herbicide, the most widely used chemical in the world. And it is destroying our gut bacteria and weakening our immune system. So the number one thing that we can do to regain our health, to regain a healthy food system, is to get glyphosate banned. And keep in mind, 80% of GMOs in the food supply are engineered to withstand glyphosate, and 85% to 100% of the major commodities in the United States, such as soy, corn, sugar, and canola, are GMO. So we're talking about the majority of America's food supply is poisoning us. And we need to get glyphosate banned. We get glyphosate banned and 80% of those GMOs are not going to work, right? So it's a major way to transform our food system, which is what I'm committed to. So I hope you're committed to that with me. I hope you'll take action. We have an action on Moms Across America. You can go to click on Moms Across America in our blog. It's the top one, and click on the open letter to citizens and organizations for a glyphosate ban. We have until March 12th, folks, to comment to the EPA and let them know that we want them to ban glyphosate. Now, I know there's been a lot of petitions about this from a lot of organizations. Moms Across America has been talking about this for 8 years, and every food organization out there has done a petition. So we're not asking you to do a petition. We're asking you to click on the link below in our article and comment directly to the EPA. And that's really the only way that they're going to count your unique comment, is if you comment directly to the EPA. So go to this article on our website, Open Letter to Citizens and Organizations for a Glyphosate Ban. And first of all, just check out the article. 300 million pounds are used of glyphosate per year in the United States. 280 million pounds of glyphosate herbicides are sprayed directly on our food. And the other 20 million are used in landscaping, like aerial spraying, in forestry, and around railroad tracks, and in our water, folks, in Florida, in Lake Okeechobee, right? It's being sprayed around our water reservoirs. It's crazy. And because of that, glyphosate is showing up in cereal and orange juice and eggs and pet food and tap water, in our breast milk, in our children's urine, in streams and ocean water, in vaccines, and even the rain. So it's crazy what's going on with glyphosate herbicides. It's inundating our human population and wildlife. And a study by Paul Mills showed that there was over 1,000% increase of human glyphosate levels over the past 23 years. So we know that we are being contaminated with glyphosate, and it just doesn't work for all these reasons that I talked about: weakening the immune system, and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which I didn't mention, neurotoxicity, thyroid damage, autism symptoms, non-alcoholic liver disease, the disruption of the gut bacteria. And all of these can lead to chronic illness, hormone imbalance, depression, aggression, and addiction, miscarriages, birth defects. It's linked to diabetes and obesity and numerous illnesses. Folks, this is one of the major contributing factors of our health crisis in America today. We need this chemical banned. We need the EPA to say no. Now, the problem is, in this recent study, although they do admit that glyphosate harms 93% of the endangered species and 97% of their critical habitats. They claim that the glyphosate from the landscaping use is the primary factor in this harm. They don't acknowledge that the agriculture use, which is 280 million pounds, the bulk of it, is at all impacting the endangered species, which is ridiculous, folks. It's ridiculous because the farmlands are the majority of the land that's being sprayed. For instance, in some states such as Iowa, Kansas, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska, between 85 to 91% of their states, of their land, is made up of farmland. And that's primarily conventional farmland that uses glyphosate. So imagine if you were living in a state where 85 to 91% of your state was being sprayed with glyphosate on a consistent basis. Do you think that'd be very healthy? No, it kills microbes in the soil, it kills all life, it kills bees, they kill all kinds of different wildlife populations. Again, 93% of endangered species. So please go to this article. You can see right here where we're asking you to take action. And if you want ideas of what to include in your comment to the EPA, we've got all kinds of ideas here. And we really need people to give unique comments, not to just copy what we've written, because the EPA won't count that. So please let me know if you are a leader of an organization and you have sent a letter to the EPA. Please take action today. This is our best chance of getting glyphosate banned, because the EPA is not going to admit that glyphosate harms human beings because of the legal and financial repercussions of that. So they're admitting that it causes harm to endangered species because that's sort of a softer route, I think, of being able to take action. But they need to hear from us. They need to hear from thousands and thousands of us. In fact, I've met with the EPA 3 times. I've done a congressional briefing in Washington, D.C. about glyphosate with a whole panel full of scientists. And one of the EPA staffers actually told me, Zen, we need you and your moms to communicate with us by any means necessary about this issue. Like, they need us to inundate them with comments about glyphosate in order to have it go to the top of the priority list and to do something about this. So please comment and ask your friends and family to comment and tell your favorite organizations to comment. We have had some of our mom volunteers research, and we've sent out emails to over 300 organizations, women's organizations, environmental organizations, endangered species organizations, alerting them to this issue and asking to them to comment. But we're not seeing enough response back yet. We need to keep doing that. We need to have you ask them. Send an email to Sierra Club, send an email to the conservation groups that you support, send an email to the women's groups that you support. Folks, glyphosate herbicides has been shown to cause significant increases in shorter-term gestations, which means miscarriages, folks, or preemie deliveries and miscarriages, okay, and infant death. So our women and babies are being directly impacted by this herbicide, and we need to protect them and take action. So please go to momsacrossamerica.org, click on our blog, or click on the links that will be posted below and take action today. We have until March 12th. I know that seems like a little bit of ways for you guys, but we're going to keep showing this video and asking you to do this until we get the job done. Okay? Thanks, folks. I appreciate it very much.